Should read topic number 4 says simply, is she correct? Let's see what the she is. Uh, you share the screen, it's loading. We'll watch and then we'll discuss it.
You must first show yourself friendly. You're squeezing your face. Nobody is calling me, but this is how your face is. Friday night, you're at home. Monday, you're at home. Tuesday, you're at home. Instead of you to be smiling, be shining your teeth anywhere you are. When your friends are hanging out, say, I'm coming. When your colleagues are going to work, say, maybe that's where my husband will be. Let me dress up and join them. Show yourself friendly, and then you will have friends. All of you will be carrying natural hair about. Who natural hair help? Okay. Better wear your wig. I mean, like this. And be flipping it. Go and spend that money on hair. Draw your brows. Buy lip gloss. Look good. Natural hair is not selling market. When you marry, you off your wig because you have entered. There's nothing they can do about it. But before you enter, don't be caught on fresh. Never. Package yourself well. I'm just spiritual. The guy will run. Where are you? Prayer meeting. Where are you going after work? Prayer meeting. Okay, what about this Friday? Prayer meeting. Oh, me, I'm a Catherine Coleman kind of woman. You know, I'm wearing the mantle of Catherine Coleman. You will wear that mantle and be single. There is a time for everything. What happened to your midnight? How can't you pray there? In the evening, when he wants to take you out, I'm available. I'm available. What are you doing? Nothing. All the prayer meeting I've attended this year is okay. It's okay. Call Sister Yvonne, tell her, excuse me, you know we are single. You know you are your husband's house. My Friday night, one guy wants to take me out. Please allow me today. Let's see if this is the one. Truly and truly, these are the issues. This is why sometimes men will not leave church to go and bring one Jezebel. Because all the sisters are unavailable. Always busy in prayer meeting, in fasting, in prayer. You're always there. Every meeting, you are there. Bishop so in town, you are there. Bishop this is in town, you are there.
Yeah, so is she correct? Let me just respond to Afro World real quick. Yeah, if you could post them with narration, because a lot of the books common to the community is actually on YouTube being narrated. Yeah, if you could post a YouTube with a passage of from one of these books that we would have likely have read, yeah, by all means you could make a prompt of those as well. Yeah, Afro World to this prompt here says, package yourself well with your natural hair with a laughing emoji. Yeah, she said that. Yana B says, this is what and where we have become. Hey, ladies, like Yana B, wink, wink, you could join the panel. Let's hear from you on this topic and other topics as well. Let me start with Brother Bakari. Brother Bakari, is she correct?
I apologize. I didn't hear it. I had to go take care of some business. I apologize.
No problem. No problem.
No problem. No problem.
All right. Looks like MD2 is not there. Black Steel, what say you?
Man, I couldn't understand nothing she said. Her accent was too thick. I'm so sorry. What was she talking about?
Basically, she was telling young women to find time to basically entertain men, to find yourself a good man, because you're always in church at prayer meetings and this thing and that thing,
Okay, well, I agree with that. I think she's absolutely right. I mean, you got to make time for what you want, right? You can't sit on your hands and expect a man to come to you. If you really want somebody to date you or be in a relationship, you have to make yourself available. So yeah, she's absolutely right about that. I apologize about this. I'm usually good with accents, but this particular case I'm not. But yeah, she's absolutely right. You make yourself available. Like you can't. Oh, I want to talk with you. I'm in church. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. So then but then you complain about not being, involved with somebody. So yeah, she's absolutely right. You gotta put yourself out there for what you want to happen in your life. So I'll leave it there. Thank you Coco, for clearing that up for me.
She also said to put on your wig and pretty up yourself. She said that natural hair isn't selling. So
She lost me with that one because I love a sister with some natural hair. And that's some that'll get me going every time. Nah, she lost me with that. Seeing that wig on her head and that synthetic or that Brazilian or whatever the fuck she got on her head. No, there's nothing like a black woman rocking her natural hair, man. That's what we need to see more of. We need to stop falling for this Eurocentric standard of beauty because I'm pretty sure most black men, I mean, outside the most conscious black men, not the brainwashed brothers, prefer to see a black woman wearing her natural, beautiful hair. That's what
I gotta. This. Can you all hear me? 1 2 1 2.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh,
yeah, go
Black
ahead.
Steel. The standard of beauty in the Western world is people like Janet Jackson, Beyonce, Halle Berry. So when she say that, uh, African or black hair ain't selling in the market, she know what she talking about. Because the black brothers, them standard of beauty, what they perceive as beauty, is not what we perceive as beauty. I like a natural looking woman too. I like a woman who is wear old hair or wear some dreads, but we don't represent the majority, brother. Yeah, we represent the minority. That's why the women are dressing. They are dressing for each other first, to try to compete with one another, to find favor in the men who find them attractive. And unfortunately, the men of that society, and our society too, will pay big money for a woman to look a certain way. Unfortunately, it's people like they want them to look with these big wigs and outrageous hair and face paint, face makeup. I want a natural. I don't like a woman with too much makeup. But I don't represent the majority of men in my country, in my society. They like women with makeup and soft skin and that. I don't like that. But we in the minority, Black Steel. That's just what it is. So she's speaking to a reality that I feel sometimes we ignore. That's first. Second, I agree with 90% of the things she said. When she talks about making yourself available and not always being so religious minded. I guess she's speaking to a church community because the religious minded people, the women them always in church. When do they have time to do anything else? You know what I mean? You and so in love with Jesus who you never see that you can't have a physical contact and interaction with a human man, a human male. I see that as very weird. And I think that the pastors in these organizations need to release these women, especially single women, to say, y'all go find something to do besides always coming here every Wednesday night. You know what I mean? Go find one man. Go fishing. Go fishing for men. I don't think that you should always be in church when the church doors are open, even if you're a Christian person. I think that's ridiculous. Another thing she said was you must be the person that you want to attract. Friendly people usually have friends. That's a true statement. You know what I mean? That's a true statement. You must try to exemplify the characteristics of the personalities that you want to attract and enter into your life. Marcus Garvey used to say, "Smile even though your mother is dead." Yeah, yeah. You mustn't always carry the burdens of your own personal burdens out to the world because when you do that, you're gonna attract that. It's been my observation. I usually, when I interact with people, if I smile, the person smiles back at me naturally. I don't know if that's just a human thing or a social thing that we have going on, but I just think that when I interact with people and I smile, they usually smile back at me, and I have a different kind of conversation. So I agree with 90% of the things she was saying, but are there a lot of narcissists in the No, they represent
They
a
represent
minority,
a minority.
Afro Native world. You have the Rasta sisters, you have the sisters who do. I usually the people who are more educated, professional minded in professional fields, usually you will see more of them have more naturals. They usually very educated people. They don't really wear wigs because it's not. I think it's not practical. But usually, the typical Bahamian woman looking like somebody from Ghana or Nigeria, they like the wigs too. They like the wigs. So, but I'll stop there. I'll stop there.
All right, thank you for that.
Thank you for that.
Could I say something? Is it possible to say something? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, anytime when the subject comes up about women, especially when it's about when there are men that are bringing that conversation up, and this is just my own observation for the last, almost 60 years. Whenever a man brings up a conversation of a woman, hopefully he'll look within and say, look, women are nothing more than a reflection of who we are. That's the bottom line. Women do, of every species, because every species, whether it's a marijuana plant or as Brother Bakari said, a lion, it doesn't matter. The female species is a reflection of what that man or that male of that species is. Do they protect the society? Do they nurture them? Do they educate them? That's what men do. Okay, they educate the young folks how to survive. There's a lot of African customs that'll actually show you that. The thing is people are always going to do what they want to do, for even if it's unconscious or subconscious, not just on a conscious level. They'll do things instinctively for what they deem their self-preservation. And that self-preservation doesn't necessarily mean you're out on a mountain trying to be a prepper. It means even sometimes just holding on to a job is self-preservation. You will act, dress, you will speak a certain way in order to preserve that, so you could live another day and you maybe watch your Netflix. So whether they're wearing wigs or not, even unconsciously, they're doing what is in the self-preservation. And part of that is even getting a man. Part of that, women don't just necessarily dress to go ahead and impress each other. That's nonsense. A lot of folks will say that. I grew up around a lot of women. That's ignorance. Women might go ahead and dress around each other to impress just for one reason, to compete against one another. And I've seen that for over 40 years. Okay. And especially when I was a child. No, 60 years now, I've seen that. They dress and they act amongst each other, and folks will say, yeah, they're just trying to impress. No. Because at the bottom line, that instinctual thing that is basically a nature in and of itself, she's going to want to reproduce one day. And she cannot do it with another woman. Okay, it doesn't happen. So the thing is irrespective of what the sister's saying, she could be deemed correct in many aspects. She is. She could be deemed incorrect, especially when it comes to, hey, you got to go ahead and dress like a European in order to, find that self-preservation mechanism. Maybe not, maybe so, who cares? Bottom line is for Black males, hopefully, to recognize you could always look at the state of a society, a tribe, a brood, a pride, a hyena clan, a congress of baboons. It doesn't matter. You could always see the state of that species by the state of its women, because the children are the reflection of the women and the men. So hopefully brothers will digest that whatever these women do and say, all they're doing is basically a reflection of who they are. And if they like that reflection, which clearly it seems like we do, we see a lot of these rappers and everybody else. And I mean, what adopted that European standard? So unfortunate frame of reference that African women do. The fact that we have to call it natural hair and not just hair tells you one thing alone. We added an adjective to something that's natural. Okay, you don't see other individuals saying, hey, you're wearing that straight hair. No, because that's natural to them. They're not using a frame of reference that's outside of themselves, but yet we have to use an adjective like the so-called term African-American to describe who we are. That's unfortunate, but that also tells you that it's a reflection of the state of who we are. Reactionary, a mirror, or what my mom says in her 80s, shadow people. We're shadowing things and not being the originator that cast the actual the shadow, not taking that light in and being the original. And that in and of itself, the fact that you even use that term, natural hair, tells you for some odd reason, whether we like it or not, whether it's good or bad or whatever, it is unnatural, because we would be saying, hey, you like their hair? That's when you're talking about, we use adjectives like, hey, that brother, black person, black this and that, but not saying, hey, I saw a guy walking down the street today. If I said that in our mindset, because of our frame of reference being someone else's, if I said I saw this woman walking down the street or this guy walking down the street, immediately, most of our people will see somebody that does not look like them unless I use the adjective black. So that already tells you in and of itself that women are always going to be a reflection of whatever the men do, and you could tell the state of a race by just looking at them. I'll pass the mic.
I appreciate that, MG too. Who did I not get to? Buana, right? Buana, did I get you on this one yet?
Yeah, you spoke to me about it already.
Okay, so Buana, Black Steel, Bakari didn't hear it. All right, so does anyone want to add any other last thoughts here? There's a conversation going on in the chat that you guys listen to the playback should check out while you're listening. Man, tonight is a night of forgetting. There's something I was going to bring up. Oh yeah, there's a poll I have up in the chat. I'm going to end it now. Oh damn it! The question of the poll was: do you think Shoot the Breeze is misogynistic in its nature? Interestingly, we had 83% of people said no, and 16% said yes. So that's like what, 1 out of 6 people said yes, that Shoot the Breeze is misogynistic in nature. That's very, very, very interesting. Very interesting. Since there's no last thoughts, it seems, on this one, let's go to the last topic for tonight. Let's grab it. Shoot the Breeze topic number 5 is going to be, come on.